Today, ARK Invest and 21Shares launch a suite of actively managed digital asset ETFs. Coinbase argues that spot Bitcoin ETFs will introduce crypto to a broader investor base. And in a Crypto World exclusive, NBA star Spencer Dinwiddie and Solo Ceesay, the co-founders of Calaxy, break down a new feature on the platform. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Major cryptocurrencies in the red this morning. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin dropped more than 1.5%, trading closer to the $36,000 mark. Ether fell more than 2%, but still traded above $2,000. However, Polygon's Matic token rose more than 3% after it was revealed this morning that inflation was flat last month compared to the month before, which could be a sign that those stubbornly high prices are finally easing. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Today, ARK Invest launched 5 new digital asset ETF products in partnership with 21Shares. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood joined Squawk Box this morning to discuss that new ETF suite.
With our partner 21Shares, which is the largest crypto ETP provider in the world, mainly European focused, we are launching 5 ETFs. The strategies are going to be around Bitcoin futures, Ethereum futures, one will be Bitcoin futures and cash, one will be Bitcoin futures and Ethereum futures, and then the last one will be broader Bitcoin and companies exposed to digital assets, equities.
Wood also argued this morning that most people understand that Bitcoin is the, quote, money revolution.
This is the first global.
A lot of people don't understand that because they haven't read anything about it.
Right, private, so no government oversight, digital, very important, rules-based monetary system in history.
Next, sticking with crypto ETFs, as we wait to see if all those applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved, there are still a lot of investors on the sidelines of crypto unable to access the asset class. Well, in a new report that just came out this week, Coinbase argues that if approved, spot Bitcoin ETFs could introduce crypto markets to a wider investor base, including registered investment advisors, as well as retirement funds and other institutions that have historically been precluded from the asset class. The report notes that the opportunity is potentially much greater than just enabling new capital to access the crypto market, as ETFs will ease the restrictions for large money managers and institutions to buy and hold Bitcoin, which will improve liquidity and price discovery for all market participants. The report adds that having an investment vehicle that meets key regulatory and compliance requirements could open the door to new products like lending, futures, and options. That could increase existing crypto offerings for accredited investors and expand adoption. At least 9 asset management firms, including BlackRock, WisdomTree, and Valkyrie, are waiting for SEC approval to issue a spot Bitcoin ETF. Experts say the first approval could come early next year. All right, we have an exclusive interview for our main story. Yesterday at the NASDAQ, I caught up with the founders of Calaxy, a decentralized protocol dedicated to content creator monetization. Co-founders Solo Ceesay and NBA star Spencer Dinwiddie explained a new feature on the platform, which is set to drop later this week and is expected to make sending crypto or NFTs as simple as sending a text within the app. Crypto prices recently have been moving higher. For example, Bitcoin recently hit $38,000 after being stuck in a tight range for months. So I'm curious, especially because, Spencer, you have been bullish on crypto for years. What do you make of these higher prices? And do you think perhaps this is the start of crypto's next bull run? Your buddy Solo over here recently wrote a piece a few months ago talking about how crypto's next bull run will be like something we've never experienced. Do you agree? And do you think this could potentially be the start of the next bull run?
I think it's the very, very beginning stages. I think we probably have some more months before we see some explosive price action. But everybody's calling for 6 figures. I've seen people calling for as much as 10x, like 350,000. I don't know if I'm going to go that high, but I think crypto as a whole, Bitcoin specifically, is going to move up dramatically in this next bull run. It's gonna. I actually think all markets are gonna have a bull run in the next probably 2-3 years, but crypto is gonna be explosive.
We'll see if that comes to fruition. Solo, what do you think are the factors at play? I know you noted that hopes that the Fed's vision for a soft landing, coupled with a key technical event called the Bitcoin halving, is giving some optimism to investors. You wrote that in your piece that we spoke about a couple of months ago. But what do you think are the factors at play right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we also have to take into account that crypto is still quite depressed from where it was in the last peak of the bull run. And so when you're thinking about all the different types of assets any sort of agnostic investor might buy, the crypto still looks relatively cheap relative to anything else you can buy. Real estate still is trading quite high relative to where it's been. And so are a lot of other markets, so are stocks, and internationally as well. And so when you think about all the opportunities that are at the hands of investors, coupled by the fact that there's essentially, the people that are left in the world of crypto truly believe in this space. So any sort of downward pressure is quickly absorbed by the people who are, ready for that next bull market and, talking about that the way that we have. And so it's one of those things where it's a very quite attractive, entry point for people and looking to get exposure to the asset class.
Now, Spencer, you spoke with CNBC back in November of 2021. At the time, you noted that crypto is a new asset class and that it's here to stay, and that people who are thinking about investing in the space should think about it as a long-term investment. Here we are, crypto prices are moving higher once again, but of course, in 2022, we saw a lot of scandals and bankruptcies, most notably the collapse of FTX. We experienced a bear market. Did your stance change during that bear market, or do you still believe this asset class is here to stay and that people should really look at it as a long-term investment?
I believe the asset class is here to stay. Any asset class, anytime there's money involved, there's obviously going to be bad actors. So that's not unique to crypto. And I know that sometimes it's been marketed as such, as black market, or as it's the only asset class with scammers, et cetera. But that's just fundamentally not the case. I mean, we saw the subprime mortgage crisis, right? And things of that nature. I mean, I always tell, people to do their own research, to be in it for the long haul, just because, when you're hoping and praying on a coin to go 100x in days, I mean, it's like buying a lottery ticket, and I can't in good faith recommend anybody to do that. And sometimes it does happen, and sometimes people strike gold, but that's not what I recommend. And again, like I said, Bitcoin though, I think fundamentally is pretty strong. And then obviously if you look at blockchain technology as a whole, which underpins most crypto assets, it's a pretty transformative technology.
And it's quite impressive. Even amid this bear market, Calaxy was able to raise a significant amount of capital, in total $33.5 million from backers, including Polygon and NFL player Ezekiel Elliott. How were you able to do that, and what does that signal to you? Solo, I'll start with you, and then Spencer, I'm curious to get your take as to what that signals to you, the fact that you guys were able to raise all that capital in a bear market.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really speaks to the quality of our team, first and foremost. I think we have a great team. It definitely makes it easier getting to play with this guy all the time, too, trying to raise money. It's quite articulate. It's a very powerful tool when it comes to speaking to investors. But, also, I think our journey is quite authentic. Like, our journey started a number of years ago. I used to work out here in New York City as an investment banker. Spencer became the first NBA player to securitize himself. I was a securitization banker at the time. And I think, our journey predates that fundraising round for quite some time. And I think by, leading by example, being early to the conversation and being a disruptor has definitely helped us position ourselves as leaders in that market when it comes to talking about the market opportunity of, reinventing the creator economy, but then also making crypto technologies usable. And so I think for us, we greatly benefited from that. I think the timing was also a little better than it was, right now. But, I think our vision has been really clear, and I think we've been authentic as a team for quite some time. And that's definitely been felt by our investor community. And, we have great backers, Polygon, Ezekiel Elliott, like you mentioned, is a good friend and backer of the project, but also Hedera and the HBAR Foundation have done a great job in supporting the project and getting it, into the visible minds of people.
And Spencer, what about you? What does this all signal?
The fundraising effort specifically, or just the
fundraising efforts? The fact that you were able to raise all that capital amid a bear market. I
think he's being modest. Solo as our CEO, working literally down the street, Wharton Business School grad, extremely sharp individual. There's not many acting CEOs in our space that speak like he does, have the stick-to-itiveness, the go-getter nature. Some of that maybe because he has an athletic background as well, and that then obviously bleeds into the authenticity and how we can kind of both step into both worlds, right? Obviously he's fully in the business community now, but he still is able to have the conversations with athletes, influencers, et cetera. And then obviously me being more on that entertainment side and stepping away from some of the day-to-day business of the project also adds, a certain amount of validity and credibility as well. So I think it's a great management effort between the two of us, but predominantly him, and then obviously our entire team. I mean, they do a phenomenal job. I call our lead designer Chad LeBron all the time. So shout out Chad, because that's the GOAT.
And I understand it has been about 4 years of development and building, and Calaxy officially launched back in August. Can you take our viewers through exactly what to expect from Calaxy, how it works? I understand it's meant to empower the content creator and artists and to allow them to directly interact with their fans. What else can people expect from Calaxy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the easiest way to think about Calaxy is that it's a non-custodial crypto wallet that actually does things. And so what we've used the peer-to-peer network system for primarily to this date, and what we've been known for, is obviously allowing content creators to be able to monetize digital experiences with their fans. So they can offer things like video calls, video messages, exclusive content, NFTs, custom experiences, and more. And that is all accessible via the crypto wallet. That's where they get paid. They get paid out in USDC. Like I mentioned, we're built on Hedera, which obviously allows very fast, easily transfers of value. But also, Calaxy is a non-custodial wallet that allows you to do a lot of different things, like call your friend, or be able to have a social feed and experience tied to that wallet that makes the wallet worth coming back to each and every day.
Now, you mentioned Hedera. When Calaxy launched, Hedera tweeted that social media is going through a revolution, and Calaxy is at the, quote, forefront. Spencer, you actually tweeted when Calaxy launched saying that Calaxy is similar to the social media that we're all accustomed to, but the tools and the opportunities are different. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of that goes to the fact that we're built on Hedera, so we can do microtransactions. Also, Hedera, unlike other blockchains, has a predictable fee structure. So, in the rise and crash of a typical crypto market, it's not gonna, mess up your asset value or your ability to interact with fans, with like gas fees, et cetera. And then again, like we built it to look like Web 2, so it was a very familiar product. So it had a very user-friendly interface, and then obviously the underpinning allowed us to do some more special things in terms of transfer of assets, et cetera.
I understand you guys are here today to make a bit of an announcement. A new feature is dropping this week on Calaxy, and I understand that this new feature allows people to essentially send crypto or NFTs like you would a text within the Calaxy app. Solo, can you take us through this new interactive platform and this new feature?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you open up Calaxy, it's a traditional social experience. You'll look to notice that it has a very familiar social layout. Like Spencer mentioned, you'll have your home feed. You'll very easily be able to do things like create a new post or interact with your friends, go through profiles, navigate through your wallet, see all the different types of assets and NFTs that you have. But to discuss our new feature, which will be dropping this Thursday, which will allow you to send crypto without the need for a public key. Essentially what you're able to do is we wanted to an analog sending crypto to the idea of sending a picture or a meme in today's world, right? So currently, if you wanted to send crypto, I need your public key or whatever it is. It's that 40 number, alphanumeric phrase. It's confusing. If you mess up one number, your money's gone forever.
Which is very scary.
Which is very scary.
Yeah.
Extremely.
But for us, we think that sending crypto should be no more difficult than sending a text. And so the two ways in which you might do that are obviously go to the person's conversation, or potentially go to your gallery, click an image, and share it to your friend. And so what I'm actually going to do here is live right now, I'm going to send Spencer 500 USDC. on the Hedera network.
You're a lucky guy, Spencer.
I'm gonna need that back.
No. You owe me dinner anyway.
Obvious reasons.
You owe me dinner anyway.
He's not an NBA player like you.
But if you go through and you go over to the send crypto portion of the application, you're hit with a slide up panel. You can navigate through all the different assets you have in the wallet. So we plan on supporting a number of different chains. I'm gonna pick USDC here. I'm gonna tap in 500 and I'm gonna send that to Spencer. And as easy as hitting a button like this, you can now see that the USDC has been sent to Spencer and he has probably received it on his end. So if you go over to the transfer details, you can see all of the stuff.
500 USDC. You're a lucky guy. Can you send me some next?
I guess we're all doing it.
I'm out. It's gone.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, that's essentially a feature that we're going to be launching this Thursday, which will allow all different types of users on the platform. As we mentioned before, this is the first non-custodial wallet that legitimately does things. If you ended up going out and getting dinner and wanting to split the bill, now you can actually use crypto to reconcile that transaction in a way that you may never have been able to before. Right now, people will use wallets just to hold their money. And so we aim to encourage usage this time around. And that's why this bull market is going to be very different than previous generations.
Obviously, we're sitting here at the NASDAQ. The tech-heavy NASDAQ, of course, is a major stock index. So I have to ask, any plans to go public one day?
Oh, man. I would love to go public one day.
I see you haven't discussed this yet.
I mean, there's just a lot of ways to think about it. The crypto ecosystem is evolving so rapidly, and there's so much collaboration in the space. There are several ways to find exit liquidity, and also find ways to actually partner with different people building other platforms. And so whether that's a strategic takeover or a strategic acquisition or whatever it might be, there are a lot of different pathways for a wallet. But we do think that there is going to be demand for a product like this. Crypto right now is an asset class with trillions of dollars locked into it. Hopefully trillions of dollars more come into the asset class over the next 18 months or so. And right now we've built something that makes it really easy for anybody to interact with the chain and move assets, solving a really big usability concern for the entire industry. And so maybe it's an IPO, maybe it's an acquisition, who knows, but our job is to obviously get the word out and do our best to push the asset class forward.
Solo and Spencer also explain how they teamed up to form Calaxy, and Spencer even reveals whether he would take his NBA salary in crypto. You'll be able to catch the full conversation on our website, cnbc.com/cryptoworld. Okay, that's all for today, but we'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.